Welcome back, true believers and spectacular Spidey fans, to another Spider-Man PS4 related video. And today is an interesting one, kind of one that we kind of talked about already, but in this one I'm kind of going over it in more in-depthly and analyzing it more in a better way, and kind of discussing on what I think that we could actually see for it in that order. And what I mean is I'm talking about what pre-order bonus could we have for Spider-Man PS4. So we had a video where I talked about what DLC we could see, meaning what content we could see that could come out for the game after it's released. This is, of course, pre-order bonuses, and of course, pre-order bonuses are incentives that make you want to buy the game even more. I already pre-ordered Spider-Man PS4 the day after I saw it. I pre-ordered it instantly. I want this game yesterday. So, of course, and all of the other Spider-Man fans probably did the exact same thing. We all want this game. We all want Spider-Man PS4, and we all want to play this incredible game and have amazing content to come along with it. And like I've said before, Insomniac Games is not known to put out DLC because they put 110% in their games to put in the best amount of effort and quality in each of their games they could possibly have. And that goes the same way for all the content that they could put out afterwards, which is why that they do not put out any downloadable content at all, because they already put out everything in the first original copy of the game anyways, because they believe in putting in the most amount of effort so that we don't have to waste more money or spend more money for content that we should already get in the game, which is why fans already I'll say it, pissed off for the DLC / pre-order content for the games that we have had for Spider-Man in the past, which is what the pre-order bonuses have been in the past already. For all Spider-Man games, every single Spider-Man game had the same pre-order bonus, which were costumes. Each pre-order bonus for Shattered Dimensions, Edge of Time, The Amazing Spider-Man 1, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 were costumes. As you can see here, this is the DLC for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. You get 4 costumes if you pre-order the game. It was interesting for Edge of Time because if you pre-ordered at certain places, you would get a certain costume. So I think if you pre-ordered at like Best Buy, you get the Future Foundation costume. If you pre-ordered at Amazon, you would get the Big Time costume. If you pre-ordered at GameStop, you got 4 suits. You get the Identity Crisis pack, which was, I believe, the Hornet, Dusk, Ricochet, and Prodigy were the suits in that pack. Shattered Dimensions, you got the Cosmic Spider-Mans, or Spider-Men, I should say, for each universe, or for each dimension of Spider-Man to have, like, a different costume, and you had the certain charge attack, which was different from all the other charge attacks, but it wasn't really anything that special. The suits already look kind of strange because they're the Cosmic Spider-Man suits, so they don't really fit that character. I'm glad if you guys like that pre-order content, but I barely wore those suits. I just tried them on once just to see how they look, but I just went back to the original suits because the original suits are already incredible. And then the Amazing Spider-Man 1 did something different, which is where if you pre-ordered it, you could play as Rhino, and that was a really interesting thing to do. It didn't really get me that excited because playing as Rhino out of all the other Spider-Man characters seems interesting and a bit strange, but it was still interesting and cool to see that you could play as a different character in the game. That little challenge pack with him was kind of fun, but it got real short real fast. And this brings me to what Insomniac has done in the past for their pre-order content already, which was for Sunset Overdrive and Ratchet & Clank PS4. Sunset Overdrive and Ratchet & Clank PS4 both had the same type of add-on / DLC / pre-order content, which were weapons. Because in Ratchet & Clank and Sunset Overdrive, those games you can have tons of crazy, intense, totally over-the-top weapons to use to take out enemies in that game in various different ways, kind of like the Groovatron in Ratchet & Clank, for example, and the Flaming Dragon or the Screaming Dragon or whatever that weapon was called in Sunset Overdrive, where a dragon shot out fireworks from its mouth as a gun or something like that. So Insomniac Games is very creative with what they can put in for their games related to weapons. But since Spider-Man does not use any weapons, I'm kind of curious to see what they will put as their pre-order content for this game. And since how big this game is, this is their biggest game they ever made, literally and metaphorically. It's big in the sense that it's being made by a ton of people in their studio, the biggest development team they've ever had, and big in the sense that this is, like, out of all the other titles, like, if nowadays, if you're going to say Insomniac Games, you're going to say, oh, they didn't make Ratchet and Clank. They did, but, what they else? They did Sunset Overdrive? Oh, what'd they do? Spider-Man! They did Spider-Man. Like, that's what they're going to be known for doing now, is Spider-Man. Same thing with Rocksteady. Everyone knows in the gaming world, Rocksteady are the kings of Batman, and now, Insomniac is going to be the kings of Spider-Man. So, with that being said, they obviously want to have an incentive that is worth getting the game if you pre-order it, meaning if you get the game earlier than anybody else, you will get content that you will enjoy having instead of getting it later. Because the interesting thing about their pre-order bonuses for their games is that you cannot have it as add-on content afterwards, meaning that the pre-order weapons that you get if you pre-ordered Ratchet and Clank or if you pre-ordered Sunset Overdrive, you could only get those weapons if you pre-ordered. They were not available as DLC or add-ons after the game was released. You only could get the exclusive content for the pre-order through the pre-order. You cannot get anywhere else. So, with Spider-Man, the people want something to have as a keepsake, to have as a really special item as a Spider-Man game goes. Costumes are kind of an old thing now. We've seen them before. It's been done more than once. We do not need costumes as a pre-order bonus anymore. If they do, it's fine, I guess, but knowing Insomniac Games, they are really, really, really creative with the pre-order bonuses that they give out. The weapon that was pre-order for a Ratchet and Clank PS4 was really interesting, and I believe the weapons, plural, for Sunset Overdrive were really creative and destructible and fun to use as well. So, again, they're going to use something creative and fun to put as the pre-order bonus for Spider-Man PS4. What that is, I do not think it will be a costume or another character, because I do not think that we will be playing as other characters in this game. If we do, that would be really cool. If there is a pre-order where you could play as, like, Black Cat, because Rocksteady did that with all of their Batman games, even Warner Brothers Montreal did that for Batman Arkham Origins. You could play as a villain in each of the Batman games during challenge mode. Asylum, it was Joker. City, it was Robin, even though he's not a villain, but you could play as another character in the Batman universe in that game. You could play as Harley Quinn in Night, and you could play as Deathstroke in Origins. So if they go that route, that'd be interesting. The characters I can think of, though, that could be like that, with kind of like the Spider-Man's fighting style, could be Black Cat or maybe Chameleon, if they're going to go with that villain in the game. Depending on who they choose to put in, if they even want to go that route as playable villains. But what I think they will actually end up doing, since they've put weapons as their pre-order bonuses for the past two games that they've made, I think they're going to do something like that for this game, where we will get like another Spider-Man type gadget, because I believe that in this Spider-Man PS4 will be using a lot of gadgets, like maybe Spider Tracers or the Spider Light. Maybe we'll get a fourth gadget or so, like an extra gadget that we can use in the game that Spider-Man can use that you can only use if you pre-order. Maybe another fighting move. They did that with Infamous 2, weirdly enough. If you pre-order the game, you can get an actual fighting move. You can get another power in Infamous 2 if you pre-ordered the game, and you cannot download it as add-on content. So if you were to do another fighting move for Spider-Man, or another web-swinging move or something like that for the game, as a pre-order bonus, that would really make people want to go and pre-order this game. If they do costumes, just make them really good costumes. Costumes that we've never seen before in a Spider-Man game, or at least costumes that will look really good on a next-gen PS4 game. If they do another villain or another character to play as in the game, I'm not sure who they would choose. Again, Black Cat or Chameleon are the only choices I can think of. But that is all my thoughts for this video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans. Peace out.